This is a different type of stream. We're doing
Paranormal stories.
So if you've seen something spooky, maybe an alien, ghost, your dad. Hello? Hello? Who is this?
Hello.
Okay, that hurt. Hello?
Hello.
Oh my god. Hello, you're live. What's your name, caller?
This is Meredith.
What's up, Meredith? Can I call you Dith for short?
Sure.
You want to tell us a scary story, Dith?
It's not really paranormal, but have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Twice, yeah. Both times it was awful.
So I was dreaming that I ran over my cat.
Oh no.
And then I woke up partially, like I could see, but I can't talk, I can't move, and my cat was sleeping next to me, so I thought she was dead.
Oh god.
And I tried to reach for her, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't talk to her or anything, and then I gasped and woke up. I hated it.
No good. And the kitty was okay?
Yes.
I mean, it would be worse, I guess, if you like woke up in your car and you're like, oh no.
Oh my god.
Kitty. Well, Dith, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're starting off with sleep paralysis. This is just gonna get worse.
It sure is.
Thank you for calling in.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Nina, Dad.
Dad?
What kind of scary stuff you got for us? Anything good?
Okay, so when I was probably like 14 or maybe 13, I was babysitting one of my family friend's daughters, and she was probably like 4-ish.
Scary.
And we were hanging out. Yeah, scary ages. And so we were hanging out in my family's apartment, and my parents had like ran to the store or something, and her parents weren't there, and we were just sitting in my room, and she looks behind me to the door, and she was like kind of eyeballing it for a minute, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but I'm just gonna kind of pretend it's fine. And then she was like, who's that? And I was like, who is who? And she was like, the man. And I was like, no, wrong.
No,
There's
that
no
is
man
the
there.
incorrect answer. Try again.
I know. And so I looked behind me at my door, and there was no one there, so I like scooped her up and went out to my porch, because I was like, if there's a man in my apartment, if he's like a real man trying to kidnap us, that's not cool.
We're out of here.
But we ended up being okay, and it was freaky, and I haven't forgotten about it.
Has anything ever happened again like that? Or was it just a one and done, I see a man scenario, the classic thing?
With her, just a one and done. She saw a scary man in my doorway and then decided to just not see him again.
Keep an eye on that.
But
well, I hope that never happens again to you, Nina, and please don't tell me if it does. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
Can there be a twofer? Can I say a story?
Yo, yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so one time when I was little, I had this dream where my neighbor came into my room, and she was like, hey, do you know this guy? And I was like, what guy? And she was like, the guy that's like just walking around the neighborhood. And I was like, no, man, I have no idea who this guy is. I've been in my room all day. So I walk into my room, and then like, I don't know what happened. I just was in bed at one point, and then my closet flings open, and I get sucked into the closet, and then I'm outside in the neighborhood, and Briley is talking to me, and she's the friend. And then this like naked guy comes out of this wood, and I run back home, and I have this little cardboard like inside my home, and I hide in that. And then I open this little like paper towel curtain, and this like gross feces covered naked man or whatever, he doesn't like his facial features are all like messed up and stuff. And then I woke up, and it was spooky.
That's really. I'm so glad at the end that I missed that was a dream. So the whole time I was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, if that wasn't a dream and you were just gonna softball that as the secondary story, I was like, what in the fuck is this? Thank you guys so much, both of you, for the stories. I really do appreciate them.
Bye.
Got him. Fucking idiots. If that would have been real, I would have been so happy. But that's still a fucked up dream. Probably should see someone about that. Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
This is Kat.
Hi, Kat.
So, quite a big story, but I'm going to shorten it to like one defining moment.
Okay.
So, when I was young, I lived in a, I believe, haunted house. Like when I would go to bed in my room, I would always feel a hand on me. I would feel breath behind my ear, and my parents never believed me. Of course, one night it kind of like, I always believed like it was a male spirit, but he was never like weird or gross, whatever. But one night he kind of like showed himself. And to this day, I don't know if anyone will ever believe me, but like I was laying down in my bed and I had a memory foam pillow. And normally he would just touch my side and that'd be it. But that night, I felt something behind me, and it felt like someone was laying down beside me, but like behind me. And so I was like, okay, for years, all of my life, I felt like this was real. And suddenly I was like, you know what? If I were to shift myself really hard upwards and look at my pillow, I should be able to see that there's another head imprint. So I gear myself up, my heart is racing, and like I pull myself up and I see my head and their head, and like that, the one behind me like goes away faster, and then mine goes away, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep in the other room.
Okay, wait. So let's back this up and analyze this. So you sat up and you saw a person?
No, I saw the head imprint.
The head imprint.
I saw my head imprint and their head imprint on my memory foam pillow.
And it was there.
It was what?
It was there. Like you clear as day.
It was there. I saw two. There was mine, and then there was the one right behind me. Yeah. And that one like went away faster, and then mine went away. And so I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
I feel validated now. I feel so validated.
That's worse. I'd rather be crazy than haunted. Are you fucking kidding? Like, okay, so since then, has anything else happened? Do you still feel the presence or whatever?
Well, I don't actually live there anymore.
Okay.
I've kind of like wanted to mail whoever like lives there and be like, hey, do you feel anything creepy going on in there? But then that's also like really kind of awkward, so I don't want to do that and like open them up to that. So I'm just like
hey, your house is fucked.
Yeah,
like, well, shit. Well, Kat, I hope that never, ever, ever, ever happens again. Or to me. And thank you very much for calling in.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's
How's
this?
it going, Brady? This is Adam, Butter Daddy's little brother.
What spooky shit you got for us?
Well, it's more of a lifelong thing, less spooky to, well, I guess terrifying to other people and heavily annoying to me.
Not a good setup. Continue.
Yeah, I've had nightmares and night terrors literally every day of my life. It's great.
Night terror? Like intense nightmares?
Like, got up from bed while still sleeping and sprinted out of the house.
Oh, God.
I've made it to the street a couple times before my mom managed to catch me.
Pick me up.
Which is always fun. I've been asleep and screaming. That's always fun.
What are these night terrors? Like, what? Can you describe them?
The whole gambit. I've dreamt that I've been ripped apart, set on fire, buried alive, drowned. It's great. I love my brain. It's every night. It's fantastic.
Every night you dream and it feels real as fuck that you are getting like
killed.
Yes, I have actually woken up with a couple bruises that myself has either inflicted upon
like
myself
yourself, or whatever else it might be. What are you implying? What do you seem to think it is?
Either I'm absolutely ruined in the head, or I'm being possessed / haunted when I fall asleep.
Have you looked into it, researched it about people that have had something similar?
I did a high school project on it where I looked into it, and that did nothing. I've been to therapy.
Your high school project was like, I'm fucking haunted. I bet that got you a lot of friends.
My brain's broken. Help.
Yeah, that's actually the saddest, funniest thing I could picture. What did the therapist seem to think?
He kind of just stopped for a minute and just looked at me and then went through a couple books and said, I got nothing.
Can I get some help? And he's like,
You're fresh out.
I went to a sleep therapist and they did a sleep study on me.
And were they like, could they see, like they were like medically confirming that?
Yeah, I was hooked up to, I had friggin' nodes all over my head. I was in the most uncomfortable bed in the world. I had a breathing apparatus strapped to me to monitor my breathing, and they found nothing.
God damn, dude. Well, okay.
Yeah, but
I would say I hope it gets better, but I don't think it will.
It's not. It's just something I have to put up with.
I'm kind of like, sorry that you're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very sorry that you have to deal with it, and please call us back again.
I intend to.
Thank you, Adam. You have a good night.
I know, Brady.
I know you won't. All right.
Bye.
Got his ass. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Jackson.
Jackson, what's up? I just read your message. I'm glad you got through.
Dude, I've got probably one of the craziest stories for you, man.
Well,
Now,
Jackson, you have
okay,
the floor.
so
Go for it.
do you remember how I told you way back about my eyes bleeding?
Yes.
So I actually moved out of that house and into a different one whenever...
Do you want
I
to
was
tell
at-
chat real quick what the preface of the story before you do the update?
Okay, the preface of the story is my grandpa, me and him were really close, and he passed away in 2020, March to be exact. I just remember one night I was in my bedroom, and I'm like, okay, nothing out of the ordinary, right? Explain to me this, Brady. I got a call from his cell phone number, and nobody had that phone. Nobody had that number, but it was just straight static.
No.
Straight up static. Like the hairs in the back of my neck stood up. I'm like, yo, I'm about to flip out. This
Like
is not
it said,
normal.
like Grandpa calling.
Yeah, like his name in my contacts after he passed was like my guardian angel, and then I just seen that number pop up. I'm like, oh hell no. All said and done, I went to his old house and I found this bird. It's like a little gold bird. It's fake, obviously, but you know.
Yeah,
I found it,
figured
so
Goldberg.
I put it on a necklace, and I haven't wore it, but I had it hanging on the wall, and it was facing a certain direction, and it just starts spinning. And there was
Spinning?
no air circulating. Yes, it was just spinning. There was
Okay.
no air circulating in the room, and I'm like, why the hell is this thing spinning?
I would also think that.
This all happened, like, in the span of a week. Have that little background there. Well, I go upstairs to the bathroom. Keep in mind, this all happened at my old house.
Hmm.
And all I hear is just this real, like, faint tapping sound. I open up the door and just boom. It was just a wave of nothing but freezing cold air, and it was midsummer, and the windows were open. There was no breeze or nothing.
When you say that you heard a tapping, was it like on the counter in the bathroom or something?
No, it was on the door. It was like this.
Hmm.
It was like that. Just, I know I had to give an example, but
No, that was pretty good.
was
I
like
could picture it pretty well.
it was down on the door. Like, it freaked me out so bad. And, you know, the cat that we had at the time, she started acting really, really strange.
All of that's unsettling, and I don't like it, and you need to continue to update us on this, because
I think probably the creepiest experience that I had was my younger brother, who was 4 at the time, because he's 6 now. Well, he's 4, and he looked at me and was like, hey, who's that man behind you? And I turn around and there's literally nothing there.
Fuck that. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Got him. Hello, who's this?
Oh, hello?
Hey, you're on the air.
Okay, dope. I just muted my TV.
No, you're good. You're good. What's your name, friend?
Jordan. But I'm very excited because I actually have a really good paranormal story, and what freaks me out, I'm in the basement in the place that it took place in.
Oh no. All right. That's a good setup. The floor is yours, Jordan.
Okay.
Let's hear this.
Hell yeah. Okay. So this takes me back to about, I think, 2017. But basically, I was working on music back then still. It was shit, but I was. And I had a recording. And in the background of one of my recordings, I heard like a really weird voice. And so I muted all the music except for that one vocal track. So I listened over and over again. And I heard like a really deep, gravelly voice just saying disappointed in the background. And that was...
It's your dad. No, I'm kidding.
I hear a weird voice, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then we are pretty much just chilling after that for a little bit. A few weeks go by, and the basement's like unfinished, so I hear weird noises all the time, like, you know, pipe scripting, stuff like that. So it's easy to get paranoid. But then my mom, who I lived with at the time and visiting right now, but she was 2 floors above in her bedroom, and she was all of a sudden freaking out, yelling for me. And she does not believe in ghosts at all. So I want that to be known, because what she says and what she does is shocking to me to this day. So she was in her bedroom, and she starts yelling for me specifically, and mostly because I'm the only one in the house that actually believes in that shit. So she yells down to me and says, Jordan, get up here. So I run up, and she tells me that she was in her room, and both of our cats were in the room with her. The cats were staring up at the ceiling at a corner, both staring at the exact same time for like 5 minutes, just pacing back and forth, staring at the same corner. And then randomly, the room gets cold. Both of the cats run out of the room downstairs, and the light, not just the light, but the light switch flips off and on about 10 times rapidly. So up, down, up, down, up, down,
No.
turning the light off and on in front of her face. And my stepdad was in the room too. He saw this and confirms that this actually happened. So they all run out of the room. They're freaked out. And obviously, like, it's very confusing. That shit's not supposed to happen.
They're not normal.
No. And that was when I learned, cause I was making jokes. I was like, did someone die in this house before we bought it? And they just didn't tell us? Like, what the fuck is going on? Turns out, and I felt so bad for this, but apparently my stepfather had an urn of his father in his closet. So there was literally a dead man inside of our house. And apparently before they saw that shit happen, they were fighting. And they, like, not like physically, but they were just like in an argument. And he was never happy. Like my stepdad's father, he was never happy when like he heard about like arguments and stuff, because it just like really stressed him out. They were arguing, and then at the peak of their argument, that's when the room went so cold that my mom had to grab like a cardigan, like she put like a sweater on her because she was so cold. The cats ran out of the room. The light switch went up and down several times. And yeah, honestly, I wish I could tell you I had closure from that. I don't. A few weird things have happened since then, but nothing to that extent. Just like I guess like more voices, like I said before, 'cause that's really where it started. At least that I noticed was hearing voices in the recordings of things, and then I feel like we've all seen weird shit in the background of a Snapchat we sent at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it's like I heard a couple more voices in my recordings and stuff like that.
I see that thing that fucks with me, because I obviously do a lot of recording in this room, and I'm waiting for the day that, like, I had that like maybe a couple months ago, I had that like stray thought of like, I wonder if like I would ever like what if that happened, like literally that scenario, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll never listen to my vocal tracks soloed, and I'll never have to find out. That's alarming and concerning, and none of anything you just said was good, and has ramped up my fear of that happening to me. And overall, I'm worse after having this conversation, Jordan.
Watch me find that recording and sample it, and just put it in one of my tracks.
That's actually terrifying. I love that. You should do that. All right, Jordan, thank you so much. I really appreciate the story. That's awful, and thank you. I love you all to death. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this video. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you. Love you dearly. Bye.